A farmer once stood at the edge of his field, watching the once dry soil in silence. His neighbors mocked him. "Say something, call for the crops." But he only smiled, turned, and walked away. Days later, green shoots began to break through the earth. He hadn't spoken to the field, he had trusted it. And the field, in turn, had responded. What if the most powerful money manifestation method required no words at all? In this video, you'll learn a silent technique that speaks directly to the universe, not with language, but with energy. It's the unseen shift that changes everything, and it starts with you feeling, not forcing. If you've tried affirmations, vision boards, or speaking things into existence without results, this is where it finally clicks. Stay until the end, because the quietest method, it's also the most commanding. A candle flickers more wildly when you speak near it, yet it glows steadily in stillness. Your desires behave the same way. The moment we try to explain, declare, or justify them too soon, we stir the air, disturb the flame. Silence, by contrast, invites the light to grow undisturbed. That light, when sustained, becomes form. You've been taught that saying is believing, but I tell you, believing is feeling, and feeling rarely needs a voice. Spoken affirmations, when not anchored in truth, can echo with desperation. They beg the universe rather than instruct it. True creation doesn't shout, it radiates. Silent manifestation is not lack of sound, but fullness of signal. When you speak prematurely, you leak energy. Each word can pull your awareness from becoming to waiting. Think of a seed shouted at. It will not bloom faster. Yet placed in fertile soil and left in silence, it begins to reach upward. Your vibration frequency is that soil, and silence is its moisture. There's power in the pause between your thoughts. There's movement in stillness. When you stop speaking to be heard, you begin vibrating to be mirrored. And the field, that vast, listening intelligence, responds more quickly to silent certainty than spoken hoping. You are not asking, you are becoming. So before you say it out loud, ask, have I felt it within? The moment you feel it truly, wholly, you won't need to speak it. The signal is already sent. And from here, the deeper command begins to rise. A king does not beg his guards to open the gate. He stands, and the gate opens. This is the difference between words and energy. When you affirm without embodiment, you're hoping. But when you embody silently, the world obeys. It isn't the sound that moves matter. It's the force behind the stillness. Neville Goddard once said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." He didn't say, declare it loudly. He said, assume. This is energetic command, a quiet inner authority that doesn't ask, but instructs through being. Silent manifestation begins when your vibration frequency replaces the need for performance. You are not requesting, you are radiating. Words can decorate truth, but they cannot substitute it. You can say, I am wealthy 1,000 times, but if your body is trembling with doubt, the universe listens to that tremble. Your energetic alignment is your true voice. That's what the field hears. That's what rearranges the scene. Energetic command feels different. It's calm, it's quiet. It doesn't reach, it receives. You don't visualize for convincing. You visualize to remember, to return, to know. And in that knowing, the wealth identity is not constructed. It is uncovered. The language of energy speaks first, and it speaks best in silence. So ask yourself now, am I speaking from hope or from being? The moment you stop trying to speak it into existence, you begin to command it through vibration. And that command, felt, not forced, is what opens the next gate. Imagine dropping a pebble into a still lake. The ripple moves across the water, touching edges you cannot see. You don't have to tell the lake what to do. The energy carries the message. This is how the universe responds, not to the words you say, but to the frequency you emit, consistently and silently. There is an invisible field, not theoretical but vibrational, that surrounds and flows through all things. Some call it the quantum field, others the divine matrix. Neville Goddard called it the outpicturing of your inner state. Whatever name it holds, the truth remains. It listens to energy, not effort. And what it hears is not your voice, but your vibration. This is why speaking more often creates less. When desire is too loudly declared, it reveals that the feeling is still distant. But when it is felt, lived, and embodied, even quietly, the field adjusts. Your inner world speaks before you do. Silent manifestation begins the moment your body becomes the message. The invisible field does not respond to hope. It responds to certainty. And certainty can exist in complete silence. Your thoughts don't need to be perfect. Your emotions don't need to be loud, but your energy must be aligned. When you rest in that alignment, you become magnetic, not for money, but for the mirror of your belief. So stop trying to tell the world what you want. Become the version of you who already has it, and let your silent signal ripple into the unseen, where all things are rearranged before they appear. A flower picked before its bloom never reveals its full beauty. So too is desire when spoken too early, fragile, incomplete, and disconnected from its true power. The impulse to speak can feel urgent, but when it's not grounded in being, it scatters rather than signals. You are not just creating, you are cultivating. Desire is sacred, but when voiced too quickly, it often emerges from lack rather than embodiment. You say, "I want," but the world hears, "I don't yet have." Neville Goddard taught that you must feel the wish fulfilled, not talk about it while waiting for proof. Speaking too soon sends the vibration of absence. It alerts the field to a gap, not a gain. We are conditioned to believe that sharing desire helps it grow, but unanchored speech often does the opposite. It diffuses your energy outward, weakening the signal. This is why silent manifestation is so potent. It lets desire settle into your cells. It allows your wealth identity to stabilize before the world reflects it. You must allow desire to ripen inside you. Let it become familiar. Let it shape your posture, your tone, your breath. Then, when the feeling is complete, even in silence, the field begins to respond. You are no longer waiting to receive. You have already become the one who does. And from this alignment, desire doesn't need to speak. It resonates. So the next time you feel the urge to announce your dream, pause. Ask yourself, is this desire ready to walk, or am I still whispering from want? If you hold it just a moment longer, you may find it starts to move on its own. She adjusted her posture one morning, shoulders back, eyes calm, and suddenly people began treating her differently. Not because she said anything, but because something had shifted within her. The world, like a mirror, only reflects what it's shown, not through words, but through energy. Neville Goddard reminded us that the outer world is a reflection of our inner state, not sometimes, but always. This means your reality doesn't respond to what you say you are. It responds to what you radiate. Silent manifestation becomes powerful because it holds a signal steady. It isn't trying to prove, it's simply being. Think of a mirror. It cannot reflect what's not in front of it. You don't convince a mirror to change. You change your expression, and it follows. Your vibration frequency is that expression. When you quietly shift your internal state, the mirror has no choice. The world moves when you do. Many speak with hope, but live in doubt. The mirror sees the doubt. Others say nothing, and yet the room rearranges for them. Why? Because their energetic alignment has made a declaration louder than any spoken word. The world listens to your frequency, not your phrases. The moment you understand this, you'll waste fewer words and wield more presence. So look at your life. What is it showing you? If it still echoes lack, don't speak to correct it. Shift silently, inwardly. The mirror will not argue. It will simply catch up. He stood in a queue with nothing to say, yet everyone noticed him. Calm, collected, undeniably present. This is the power of a silent signal. The energy you emit without words, felt even in stillness. And now I will teach you how to send it in real time. Begin by becoming aware of your body. Sit or stand tall, shoulders soft yet lifted. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, feel a soft current move through your chest, not as tension, but as space. Now, without speaking, imagine you are already abundant. Let your posture express it. Let your breath reflect it. This is your silent signal. The universe does not require volume. It requires coherence. When your breath, body, and inner awareness align, you begin to broadcast without sound. This is energetic alignment. You are no longer pushing outward. You are radiating inward confidence. And that signal, calm, consistent, ripples out faster than thought. You can do this anywhere, in a lift, before a meeting, as you lie in bed. The silent signal doesn't rely on timing or technique. It relies on truth. You must feel yourself as the one who already receives, without needing to tell anyone. The field hears this clearly. The world begins to move around it. Practice this daily, 2 minutes at a time. Anchor the feeling, embody the wealth, and let this silent manifestation grow more familiar than fear. The signal has been sent. Now you must become the one who holds it steady. A caterpillar doesn't announce it's becoming a butterfly. It simply cocoons, transforms, and emerges. No declarations, no affirmations, just becoming. Your transformation into wealth follows the same path. It is not something you say. It is someone you silently become. Neville Goddard taught that every change begins with the assumption of a new state, not its description, but its embodiment. The moment you begin to feel yourself as the person who already has, you are. And in that inner shift, even before results appear, your vibration frequency begins to recalibrate the world around you. So how do you shift identity without words? You imagine, then act as if, not externally, but internally. Sit as the wealthy version of yourself. Breathe like them. Walk through your space with their awareness. When you pass a mirror, nod inwardly to that version. Let every silent moment become a quiet confirmation. I am already there. You do not need to journal this into existence. You do not need to speak it into the void. You simply become. This is the power of silent manifestation. You do not attract wealth by reaching. You attract it by being. And when that identity stabilizes within, the outer world bends to reflect it, without resistance. If this is your truth, say quietly, I am the signal, not for others to hear, but for the field to recognize. And when your identity is this clear, the next movement happens without you needing to ask for it. A still lake reflects the sky perfectly, but stir the surface, and the image disappears. Your words can be like that, ripples that blur what would otherwise appear clearly. In silence, manifestation accelerates, not because you're doing less, but because you're allowing more. Neville Goddard reminded us that creation is finished. The work is not to make it happen, but to let it happen. Verbal noise often arises from doubt, an unconscious effort to force what already wants to emerge. When you speak less, the vibration frequency stabilizes. You move from chasing the outcome to aligning with its inevitability. The universe, like a perfect servant, responds swiftly to clean signals. Silence purifies. It removes contradiction. One moment of quiet embodiment carries more power than hours of outward expression. In that stillness, the bridge of incidents begins to unfold, quietly, faithfully, with precision. No commands, just coherence. When you stop talking about your desire, you stop interrupting its arrival. Silent manifestation is not absence. It is clarity. It is focus without distraction. You are not convincing life to deliver. You are allowing it to arrange. And it arranges fastest when you no longer ask, is it working? Let the silence speak for you. Let your alignment do the work. When you trust the silence, you give the universe permission to move. And as it moves, you'll notice the signs begin to appear without effort, without noise. She didn't get a text back or a check in the mail. Not yet. But she noticed something else. Her breath was slower, her chest lighter. She no longer needed proof. That was the first sign. When the silent signal is active, the world doesn't confirm it first. You do. Neville Goddard taught that the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the evidence, not the thing itself, but the feeling of its inevitability. When you've truly entered alignment, doubt fades like morning mist. There is no more waiting, there is only knowing. And that knowing becomes the magnet that draws form toward feeling. Other signs may follow. An unexpected conversation, a sudden invitation, a shift in tone from someone who once resisted you. These are reflections, not causes. The moment you activate your silent signal, when your vibration frequency is clear, coherent, and calm, the bridge of incidents begins to build beneath your feet. You may find that you need less, you desire less, not because you don't care, but because the desire now lives within, not outside. This is wealth identity. When you are no longer striving, but simply receiving, not just money, but ease, alignment, and confirmation, you've stepped fully into silent manifestation. So ask yourself now, not with tension, but with quiet certainty, have I felt the shift? If your body says yes, if your being feels full, then the signal has already been sent, and what's coming next has already started moving. So now you've felt it, the shift without sound. But what if this was just the first layer? In the next video, you'll uncover the 3 silent codes that unlock wealth fast. Specific energy keys hidden beneath your current identity. They don't just attract money, they reshape your entire frequency. Click through now, not to continue watching, but to continue becoming.